Hey YouTube, this is the Prepper One. I just had a great conversation with a gentleman that I think 2010 he immigrated to the United States legally. Took him 5 years to get his citizenship. He's a U.S. citizen. It cost him over $10,000. When he came, he received zero help from anyone, and now he's a productive member of society with a great job. I'm not going to say what he does, but he's in public service. It was an uplifting conversation. He gave me his perspective, what's happening, what happened in South Africa, what is happening today with the border problems. I took some notes. Hopefully I can read my scribble. But I guess in 1994, South Africa changed. The elections were held, and basically the apartheid was over, and it started a chain reaction. Within 2 years, they opened the border between South Africa and Zimbabwe, allowing anyone to come back and forth. They didn't stop them. Immediately, I think he said he lived like 80 miles south of the border. Within 1 week of this happening, crime shot up about 3 times the amount. Then you had all these people from Zimbabwe coming over with nothing. He did say some of these people were fine. They wanted to be there to work. Some of them were criminals. They didn't have anything when they came across the border because Zimbabwe was very poor, and resulted in some of the people getting jobs and some of them relying on stealing, theft to take care of themselves. The problem was, though, all these Zimbabweans were being paid to work there, and all of that money was being sent back to Zimbabwe. So it really didn't help the economy as much. He realized eventually he had to get out. So he did put in his paperwork, spend over $10,000, and came to the United States. I think it was in 2010. So he has a perception of what happened there, and he can see it happening inside the United States with this border problem. He's looking at it from the Zimbabweans coming into South Africa. We're looking at it from the Mexicans and Venezuelans, everyone from Central America, pretty much the whole world coming across the border. He says the biggest thing while he was there, and I guess his parents are still there, crime just skyrocketed through the roof. He wants you guys to know that you need to start investing in physical security for your home. Protect your home, not just having a gun. That's not going to cut it. He said he still slept with a pistol under his pillow, and he was still scared and worried about his physical safety when he still lived over there, when he lay down. And this is what he had for security. He had a 10-foot fence around his house. I think it was a concrete. On top of that was 4 foot with electric wire. He had bars on every window. He had security cameras. He had an alarm. He had sensors. He had, over all the doors, he had metal gates that would shut. And then he had inside his house where he could secure the bedrooms, were extra security. So even if you broke into the house, you'd then have to break in. And he still slept in fear. He says it's happening in the United States. He says you need to spend your money now on physical security. Not just having a gun, that ain't going to cut it. He said when South Africa was falling, there was a lot of people that would, talk tough. And he said when it came down to it, most of the people went with the system, didn't object. And he says a lot of people over here are probably going to do the same thing. They're big mouths and probably are not going to back up what they say. He said he saw it firsthand over there. He says in the United States, our problem is the American dream. And the American dream that people are trying to get to is a big house, a car, a boat, all those little toys that we have. He says we have to get back to the old ways. I wrote something down. He said, your house is just the place where you're going to sleep tonight. And that's sort of true. Your house right now is where you sleep tonight. Tomorrow you might have to give up a lot of things and stand on some principles if you want to have a future. He says everything that happened in South Africa and the destruction of their society, the way the crime just went through the roof, is happening here. I got a lot of encouragement from what he was telling me. It was definitely, we need to develop areas of the country that is safe for people that believe in God, that believe in the Constitution. He says there are some areas over there that have done that, and it has worked. They've actually formed their own town. They have 10,000 people. They have everything they need to do to support themselves. And what they have is security. He thinks it's going to be a slow grind, and I totally agree with him. It's going to be a very slow grind. So, if you're still thinking about moving and you can move. Some people are frozen because they think tomorrow is going to be the bad day. If you look on YouTube and there's a million titles that, you know, it's going to end tomorrow. This is bad. Do this. And he says he sees a lot of those channels out there that are just clickbait and everything is going to fall apart tomorrow. He believes that it's just going to be the slow grind that he saw in South Africa. So if you can get out of where you are and you can get to safety, do it. It's a hard decision. I know it is, because you're comfortable with your toys, with your American dream, with your lifestyle. But to keep your family safe, you might have to give all that up and live in a little house, a house that you built. We talked a lot about an alternative economy where you're going to have to get with people of like mind and provide services between each other. He is also preparing for people to come, maybe 20 campers. So he's going to offer them very limited electricity, but he'll offer them sanitation. He'll offer them water. And in return, they're going to have to work hard. So really, to survive what's coming, you're going to have to give up the illusion of the American dream. Is your toys, your house, mama's car, that she just loves her car, is that more important than the future of our country, and more important, the future of our children and our families? So I was encouraged by this South African that's now a legal citizen. He values his citizenship, and he's appalled at what's going on. He sees a complete destruction of our country through these open borders. Don't give up hope. There's lots of good people out there. If you're on the fence of moving, you might want to consider it. We might have another 3, 4, 5 years of slow grinding. And that's what they want. They don't want you to notice a quick collapse. They want you just to get slowly put to sleep that it's getting bad. So I appreciate this guy from South Africa. I'm here to encourage you. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep prepping. Keep building relationships. You're going to need lots of people. Thanks for watching.